This is the night everything changed. The night Ethan vanished. And I realized love isn't the only thing you can lose. Sometimes you lose yourself, too. Welcome to Real Life Story TV. This is episode 5 of my story. My name is Grace, and if I thought the silence in episode 4 was unbearable, nothing prepared me for what happened next. After Ethan's final cold message, I barely slept. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw his words replaying like they were carved into my memory. When morning came, my pillow was still damp from tears I didn't remember crying. I tried calling him before work, no answer. I tried texting, nothing. His phone was off again. A part of me whispered that something was wrong, but another part believed he was just tired. Tired of breaking, tired of pretending, tired of me. Still, something in my gut felt different today. He had never gone this long without at least a small sign of life. At lunch, I finally broke down in the bathroom stall at work, clutching my phone and whispering, "Please, Ethan, just message me." My hands shook so badly, I dropped my phone twice. And then at 3:14 p.m., his best friend Mark called, something he never does. My heart dropped. He asked if I had heard from Ethan. "Not since last night," I said, voice cracking. Mark sighed in a way that made my blood freeze. "Grace, he didn't show up today. He didn't answer anyone. I'm worried." It felt like the floor beneath me disappeared. My chest tightened, my palms went cold. I left work early and rushed home, shaking so violently that people stared at me on the train. I tried to breathe, but each breath came out broken. I kept checking my phone like maybe if I looked hard enough, a message would appear. When I reached my apartment, the storm outside came suddenly. Heavy rain slamming against the windows like fists. The weather always seemed to mimic my emotions, as if the universe was listening. I sat on the floor with my back against the couch, staring at my silent phone, whispering prayers I didn't even know how to form. Hours passed. No update, no call, no text, nothing. Around 8:40 p.m., I finally got a small notification, but it wasn't from Ethan. It was a memory photo from last year. Us laughing, me holding his arm, his smile brighter than anything in my life. That was the breaking point. I burst into tears so violently I could barely breathe. And right there, right in that moment of raw pain, I paused the story and whispered, "Please, if you're watching this, subscribe to Real Life Story TV, because what happens next, nobody saw coming." After the emotional beat, I continued. I decided I couldn't sit still anymore. I grabbed my coat and umbrella and ran out into the storm, searching for him in places that held pieces of us. The park bench where he kissed my forehead for the first time. The cafe where he told me he loved me. The bridge where we once stood watching fireworks. Every place was empty, cold, lifeless. Around 11 p.m., drenched and exhausted, I ended up near his apartment building. I hesitated. I didn't want to invade his space, but something deeper pushed me forward. When I climbed the steps and knocked, no one answered. The hallway felt too quiet. I knocked again, louder this time. Still nothing. Just when I turned to leave, Ethan's neighbor opened her door. She was an older woman who always smiled at us, but tonight, her face had worry written all over it. "Sweetheart, he left earlier today. He seemed off." My stomach twisted. I asked if she knew where he went. She shook her head slowly. "He just said he needed air." Air. The same thing he told me before shutting me out. I walked back into the rain, letting it soak me completely because I didn't care anymore. I called him again, voicemail. I texted, "Ethan, please, I'm scared. Just tell me you're okay." No response. Midnight came, then 1 a.m., then 2, and at 3:09 a.m., just like episode 4, my phone finally lit up, but not with a message. This time, it was a location ping, a shared location from Ethan's phone. My heart jumped so hard I nearly fainted. He had turned his phone on, even if only for a second. The location was a place I didn't recognize. A small road near the old industrial area outside town, a place Ethan never went. I grabbed my keys without thinking. My whole body was shaking so violently I could barely lock the door. As I drove through the rain, the windshield wipers barely kept up, blurring the world into streaks of black and gray. My mind raced with every terrible possibility. Was he hurt? Was he alone? Did he message me by accident? Did he want me to find him? When I finally reached the location, I saw nothing. Just an empty street lit by a single flickering lamp. No cars, no people, no Ethan. My heart dropped into my stomach. I stepped out of the car, feeling the cold rain against my skin like needles. I looked around desperately. "Ethan!" I screamed into the storm. My voice echoed in the emptiness. No answer. But then I noticed something. On the ground, near the curb, shining under the streetlight, was Ethan's bracelet, the one I gave him on our 1-year anniversary. I picked it up with shaking hands. It was warm, meaning he had been here recently, meaning he was close, meaning something was wrong. And in that moment, standing alone under the broken streetlight, clutching the bracelet like it was the last piece of him I had left, I whispered into the darkness, "Please don't let this be the end." And for the first time in my life, I didn't know if I was praying for him or for myself.